Well, hello everyone. Thanks for stopping by. We're out in the Woodyard and I'm going to start this video off asking y'all a question. You could see in the intro clips of the video I was doing a little stacking, emptying out the wood wagon, and it made me kind of think about this stack over here. Show it to you. So this is the last stack that we were pulling wood off of for heating the house over this past winter. And I was just curious, this will be where we start pulling wood from in the fall, when we start burning again. But I am curious, do you guys restack this partial stack? Or let me rephrase that, do you guys add back to that stack? Or do you guys just start going from where you're at? I hadn't really given it. Generally, I just let this go, and then I'll just start with this half stack, and that's going to be the first of the wood that we burn. The only reason I started thinking about it was, I don't know if you could hear it in the video or not, because it's kind of windy out here today. The last 2 trailer loads of cherry I split, I noticed how dry it sounded, and this stuff up here, I checked it. I didn't resplit any of it, but I did stuff a moisture meter into it, and like this stuff was testing at like 17%. Granted, like I said, I didn't resplit it. That was just where it was at. So the stuff I was just stacking is from the same tree, so it's been sitting here about the same amount of time. That cherry's been in the log pile for, I'll say, almost a year now, or right at a year now. What I've got is I saved out a couple of pieces here, and I figured we would try split those in half with I've got a smaller piece here. I'm just going to test it on the outside, and then I have these 2 bigger pieces, and I figured I would split those with the hatchet, and we'll check the moisture on them on the inside and kind of see where they're at. But that's the only reason got me wondering about adding to that stack, because with some of the logs I've got, if I'm splitting that stuff and it's testing at 17%, I don't know, I'd be half tempted just to refill that stack. But be curious what you all think. So if you want, leave me a comment down below, kind of see what your thoughts and ideas on that are, and we'll resplit this stuff real quick. Okay, so I got that small piece first off. I'm gonna test it. This is the meter I'm using. This is one of the raffle prizes I actually got at the Who's Your Firewood Hysteria this year. Get this thing to turn on. All right. See if I can get that turned around to where you can read it. So let's say 13, 13.7, 13.6, something like that. It's hard to read backwards, sorry. So there on that edge, we're about 19. Keep getting the glare from the sun. So 18, 19. All right, we'll resplit a couple. All right, so I'm just gonna go on this fresh split edge this time. So it's about 24. Dead burn glare. So about 24% on the resplit. and it's about 23, and it's reading about 23 or so on the the outside. It wasn't on the dry split side, I should say. We'll split one more. Let's see. Yeah, you can feel it on that split edge. It's definitely damp on the inside yet. So that one's keeps changing. That one's reading about 30. So but there on the side that's been out in the sun, 14. So like I said, it was just a thought. I'm stacking this with in this fresh stack here anyway. But if you guys ran across some stuff that you split and it was even on the resplit, if it was down below 20%, would you refill that stack, or would you just say to heck with it and start with the half stack? So be curious to see what y'all think. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of a lazy day. It's been a very busy week, and like I said, I just haven't been in the real mood to do a whole lot. Several short nights this week, and so just haven't been too ambitious to get out here today and really get after it. It's part of the reason I took the time to stack the wood out of the wood wagon. Of course, it needed done anyways, but I have noticed a couple of dead cherry trees here. One out back and one up front. So I got my trusty hookaroon here, and this one out back, well, both of them, I'm not really sure how long they've been dead. The one up front, I honestly don't know how I hadn't even noticed it, but figured I would check those out today, see how soft they are. Both of them are still standing, so that's a positive thing. But see if they're going to be, maybe get an idea, see if they're worthwhile to make firewood out of. So we're almost there, so we'll check it out and see what we think. So this one here is one of them, and this one, the top has just completely gone out of it. So that one I know is pretty good. So that'll definitely make some good firewood. Not quite big enough to slab up, so not like the one behind it that's missing the top out of it. That one I'm kind of waiting until I get something set up to where I can run the chainsaw mill on it, but that one will definitely make some firewood. Who knows, we may wind up cutting down some trees today. We'll make our way back up front. We'll check out the other tree on the front of the property. Apparently somebody's put a new path in through the woods. Got a sneaking suspicion that somebody that's been out here riding a four-wheeler. So anyways, I'll meet you up front. So there's the other culprit. Yeah, bark's starting to come off of it. Like I could see that up at the top, but I hadn't noticed it at the bottom. Looks like it might be a little soft on the outside, but it's definitely, the old hookaroon gets into some solid stuff, so that ought to still make some good firewood too. So let that truck go by. That one's got a pretty good lean to it, but I don't want it to fall in the driveway. So we'll probably put a redirect line on that one when we put it down, so I can dump it out here into the low ground. That way it's out of the way while I'm cleaning it up. But now we got to decide what we're going to do today. So I'm going to think about that. and I'll bring you back. Okay, game plan. We're going to use my old trusty 025. No bigger than either one of these trees are. That's got an 18-inch bar on it, so it's plenty big enough to get through both of these trees. Up here, there's a lot of stuff growing up around it, and that'll be a whole lot easier to wheel around in there than one of my big saws. So we'll run the 025, and I'm gonna go in there and kind of trim some of the crap out of my way, and then we'll get her notched and see if we can't get her on the dirt. So stick with me. It's pretty soft right through here. But not even much of the top broke out of it, so I think that's definitely gonna make us some good firewood. I hate losing trees, but at the same token, these standing dead ones, there ain't no sense in leaving them standing rot away when we can get perfectly good use out of them. So, and I don't know if anybody noticed, I don't even know if you can tell in the video, I'll have to look at it, but we do have a start of a very young wild cherry tree starting up there just on the other side of where this one was at. So lose one, got another one coming back already. So love renewable resources. This one's not near as tall or quite as big around. problem I see with it is all the undergrowth around it, and deciding where I want it to go. Things to think about. Well, you heard it here first. Well, crap. I got that one stuck. It didn't go quite as good as the first one. But we'll get it out. All right, I'll set you up and we're going to do a little carving on this thing. So, kind of give you my game plan is, I think what I'm going to try and do is come in here and cut it. Because then even if it swings, I can get a fairly straight pull with the chain and the tractor if it doesn't come out. So we'll just cut that thing there, and we've still got some good coverage to keep stuff from coming back and whacking us. So I'll set you up and we'll get after it. Like I said, we're trying to make the best of a crappy situation here. So with that being stuck and where I cut it, if you look up through the notch of that tree or that crotch, that cherry's fairly straight once it goes through that crotch. And from here, I can get a straight pull with the tractor and a chain out through there. So we'll be able to throw a chain around the end of this. We'll be able to throw a chain around it here, pull the rest of that out with the tractor. That'll put me at a safe distance, and we'll have us another firewood log. So all right, well, I am gonna get this stuff loaded into the loader bucket of the tractor, get it hauled over to the wood wagon, and we'll haul it up to the wood yard. Probably won't video all that. It's a pain in the butt back in here. So I'm gonna get after that, and then I'll see you fellas up at, yeah, I'll see you whoever's watching. I'll see you back up in the wood yard. Well, that is definitely going to make us some nice looking cherry firewood. Once I got up here, dropped the trailer, was getting stuff rounded up to go cut up that tree that's out front. Supper showed up, so I think what I'll do is I'll wrap this video up here, and then next week we'll finish doing the front and cleaning that up. We're just going to cut that one into like 50-inch logs, so they're easy to get out of here, and then we're just going to bring them up and put them on the log pile. So anyways, I'll probably get started on that after I eat supper, because we still got some daylight left, but you guys will see that next week. So appreciate y'all sticking with me today. Hope you all have a great week. I'll see you soon.